While a well-built and well-defined upper body is sought after by the majority of gym goers, especially guys, it's actually the lower half of your body which, if trained correctly and intensely enough, can bring around the greatest benefit for your overall health. Now, this isn't going to be me going through the best leg exercises to do in the gym. This is me looking behind the curtain and seeing what the value of building strong legs can be and the value that brings for you over time. Now, over the past few years, I've actually really enjoyed training legs, but of course, when I started out training almost 10 years ago, I fell into the trap, as many do, of prioritizing upper body training because it makes you look bigger and stronger. But it's never too late to change. You can always include different exercises in your gym program. You can always pivot. But if you're a little bit hesitant about pivoting towards legs a little bit more, hopefully this video acts as a justification as to why to do so. So when it comes down to why leg strength is really important, there are a few main points I'd like to touch on. The first being the effects that more muscular legs have on blood flow. Leg muscles play a crucial role in what's called venous return, which is blood flowing back to the heart. When muscles contract, they squeeze the veins to push upwards against gravity, which is particularly important in the lower half of the body because the blood has further to travel back to the heart. Interestingly, your calf muscles really come into play here. If you've got really strong calves, as they're the furthest muscle from the heart, this will really help your venous flow. Larger muscles have stronger contractions and therefore increase the efficiency of your venous flow. Another factor that aids your venous flow is capillary density, which can be improved by muscle size and also endurance training. With denser capillaries, what you can do is improve the efficiency through which nutrients and oxygen is delivered to muscle tissue, therefore increasing your circulation efficiency. Now, on the flip side of this, we have venous pooling, and this is especially common in the elderly, where your legs aren't strong enough to pump blood back up to the heart, and therefore the blood stagnates in the lower half of your body, causing swelling and discomfort. An issue that arises off this is varicose veins, in which this happens for so long that the veins start to enlarge because it can't pump the blood back up. The second point is the interesting effect that leg strength can have on the brain. Weight-bearing leg exercises send signals to the brain which are essential for the production of healthy neural cells. A study from 2018 showed this by restricting the use of a group of mice's hind legs for 28 days, and then comparing the subventricular zone of the brain, which maintains neural health and is where stem cells produce new neurons, with a control group. What they found was that limiting physical activity decreased the number of neural stem cells by 70% relative to the control group, which were allowed to roam around. Furthermore, the neurons and their interlative cells that were produced did not fully mature during this period. The other interpretation of the results of this study is that weaker legs inhibit neurogenesis, which is how we produce new neurons. Now, this means that we've got fewer and less mature neurons forming new neural circuits that should allow the brain to store and retrieve information more efficiently. Neurogenesis also supports cognitive flexibility, which is the brain's ability to adapt to new situations, solve problems, or to process information more efficiently. Now, this really comes into play when we have to adapt to new changes in the environment, to learn new skills, or to recover from cognitive decline. And therefore, weaker legs decrease the ability to perform the aforementioned. And linked to my previous points around venous return, this doesn't just cover blood flow in the lower body, it also covers blood flow to the brain. And so when we see increases in the efficiency of our venous flow, we see an increase in the amount of oxygen and nutrients delivered to the brain, which can be used for mitochondrial functions, which in turn is crucial for energy production in new brain cells. So when it comes down to actually building this leg strength, there are plenty of videos all over the internet that go into the perfect endurance and leg strength routines, but the question I want to answer now actually comes from my roommate, which is building leg strength and endurance important to receive these prior benefits, or is one more important than the other? The answer is that both endurance training and strength training will strengthen your legs, but in different ways. Endurance training will improve muscular stamina and resistance to fatigue. Specifically, this type of training increases capillary density, which, as we've discussed before, results in the more efficient flow of oxygen and nutrients to muscle tissue, and also the better flow of blood back to the heart, which will decrease your chances of metabolic diseases. Endurance training also increases your VO2 max, which is a key indicator of longevity, because what it shows is how efficiently our body can utilize oxygen, and therefore the more efficiently you can utilize it, the lower your risk of all-cause mortality. On the other hand, strength training focuses on building power and growth in the legs, and this is really critical for increasing muscle size, neuromuscular coordination, and tendon strength. These benefits really contribute to our stability, coordination, and also reaction times, which become more critical as we age, as the severity of the risk of falling only increases. Aside from the muscle itself, you'll also be building your bone and joint strength, which can help fend off osteoporosis and arthritis respectively. As both facets of leg training can bring around different benefits, the recommendation here is to include a mix of the two. If we go back to the benefits at the start of the video and consider venous flow, Strength training will increase the venous flow that we experience, therefore we'll get more blood flowing back to the heart, whereas endurance training will increase capillary density, and so with this blood flow we can transport more nutrients and oxygen to the working muscle. One of the risks to our mortality that increases as we age is the risk of falling. If you were to fall in your 20s, you'd probably think nothing of it, but if you were to fall the same way in your 60s or 70s, you'd be really worried about the risk of broken bones. One of the ways in which we can safeguard against this is by strengthening our joints, and specifically the joints in our legs, which are crucial for stability. The main way to maintain joint health as we age is through regular movement. Now, this regular movement encourages the production of synovial fluid, which is a viscous liquid found in our synovial joints in our legs. It plays a crucial role in reducing friction, cushioning the joints, and then also delivering nutrients to the cartilage. Without it, your bones and cartilage would slowly grind away at each other and slowly erode one another. And being that your cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply, this synovial fluid is crucial for the delivery of nutrients and also the removal of waste. The way in which movement plays a key role is through alternating pressure changes. And so when you walk or you run, you shift your weight from one leg to the other. And this alternating pressure change encourages the even distribution of synovial fluid across this cartilage. Now, aside from regular movement, the correct range of motion is also very important. Number one, to encourage the even distribution of synovial fluid across the joint, but number two, because partial range of motion can put unnecessary stress on the joints. My hope after watching this is that you will include more leg-focused training in your gym routine, but if like me, you already train legs and you like it, I hope you at least found this interesting. The two people I would recommend following, not just for leg training, but anything to do with the gym in general, are Jeff Nippard and Dr. Mike Israetel, and both of their channels will be in the description. Please do go and check them out. I was actually hoping to cover a lot more around leg strength, specifically with regards to step count and cardio, but those areas actually turned out to be a lot bigger than I originally thought, so I will cover those in their own videos to keep this at a sensible length, and they might be next, they might be interspersed with a few other ideas I'm playing with. As always, I hope you've enjoyed, and if you have, please do leave a comment because it really does make my day. It is bye for now, but I will see you next time.